NSFW, we are live. It is a Tuesday night Eastern time. So Johnny Fairplay and I are in our houses. In
Lex brought some pussy.
he did,
Hey,
and that's a
hey,
hairy pussy.
hey, that's
Hey,
Eddie.
that's my kind. No,
Hey,
no
Hey,
fair.
that's Eddie. Don't you talk shit about Eddie.
I love it. But we are live on YouTube right now. And we are with our good friend from Survivor Africa, Lex Vandenberg.
And All Stars.
And All Stars. We just hung out all weekend.
Oh, whoa, guys! I almost forgot my jewelry. Hold on here.
Gosh.
Let me get this.
Oh, brother, here we go.
Oh God.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I almost forgot my first place trophy medallion here.
Lie. Because what people out there don't know is that was not actually your team that won.
Oh, are you talking? All right, so here's my jersey. It says it's inside out.
I'm actually wearing my motherfucking jersey.
Yeah.
Oh,
with the stars, baby.
Mine still stinks of the day I played in it. It's filled with sweat and stinks. So I couldn't wear mine tonight.
Okay, softball with the stars, and on the back, what does it say on the back?
Yeah, it says fair play. So fair play. I'm going to say right now, before you can bring another jersey out, that
there's another jersey.
The team that won was the green team, which had no fair play jerseys. So in for the cheat came fair play, who lost in his first game and then stole Tanya Vance's jersey, who she unfortunately couldn't show up for the game. He put her jersey on, and I looked at him and I said, Tanya, you have really let yourself go.
Well,
because you know what? Because fair play, you look like shit compared to Tanya.
That's a fact, sir. That is.
I know it. I know it is.
That is what. But can I see you guys' first place medallions? Oh, I forget. Didn't you get participation awards?
We did.
Well, that's nice.
Mine's upstairs somewhere.
2019 participation awards.
But I tell you what. So we were in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our good friends Lee and Sherry put on the first annual softball with the stars. There was a lot of us Survivor castaways, Amazing Race, Big Brother,
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, The Wheel, Redneck Eye, a bunch of stuff, man.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And you know what? I'll tell you right now, I'm just so glad that I'm sitting here with you guys, even though it's, we're thousands of miles apart, because it's only been 2 days since I last saw you guys, but I miss you both terribly so much. And I feel like we're still kind of together. But when we get together, when all of us get together for these events, I mean, it's like, it is pretty special. And all of us, we only get to see each other once a year, once every other year. And it is so awesome when we can just be in the same place together, drink a couple beers, share stories and hugs and whatnot. And I miss you all already so much.
Hold on. Well, first of all, a couple beers. You mean like a couple dozen beers?
Maybe.
My job was helping Big Tom up the stairs at the end of Saturday night, and I had a flashback to Lex with that big boulder at the beginning of Africa.
Well, I mean, tell everybody who was Tom's roommate this weekend.
You got to be Sandy this weekend.
That's right. And
usually it's me if you're not around. So,
well, you're the secondary Sandy, but I would have it no other way. I love to share my bedroom with Big Tom. He and I are always roommates, and we had such a large time.
It was great. So if you guys search on Facebook "Softball with the Stars," you can see a bunch of footage. And it was for St. Jude.
Yeah, St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Real Parker 12 just said, "What charity did this help?" Yeah. So
St. Jude Children's Hospital.
That's right. That's right. So everybody that from Lee and Sherry, all the volunteers, everyone that
thank you
wrangled the reality stars, taking them to the airport, and bringing them to my house Sunday for a cookout and back and forth. It was really awesome. And as Lex said, when we all get together, the thing we shared on Survivor, we always say that playing Survivor was awesome. Winning would have been great, but winning Survivor to us was it's as cheesy as it fucking sounds.
Yeah.
Winning Survivor is the friendships you make along the way.
This right
Absolutely. And I also want to thank everybody from the local Cincinnati area that showed up and, and participated. And who?
And further. We had people.
And further, yes.
From
everybody that bought tickets and attended. I mean, we really appreciate you guys. You guys make what we do so much fun and so special.
Yeah. And speaking of fun and special, coming up next Wednesday night, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, September 25th, Johnny Fairplay, will be in Clearwater, Florida at Muggs Sports Bar and Grill, and that's in Clearwater. It's Muggs at ICOT. And I will not be alone. I will be joined by Kat and Dorson from Survivor One World and Blood vs. Water. I'll be joined by Hot Cop Dan from David vs. Goliath. I will be joined by Mama C. I will be joined by Morgan Ricky. I will be joined by Jessica Pete. And there are special surprise castaways that I cannot say. Such castaways as Jesse Camacho. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say it. So other castaways like Troy Zan that I'm not allowed to talk about. I got Big Brother people. I got Memphis Garrett from Big Brother coming. I have from an Amazing Race. Who's the hot girl? Remember that real hot girl, Matt, that was at the charity event? She
the one with the boobs that I took a picture with?
No, the other one with the boobs.
I don't know.
She's a mom to 6 and a grandmother to 4, I believe.
I'm not sure.
Hey, I'm going to break in right here and say, Preston, I see your message up here on the screen, and dude, that day was awesome, and it was an honor and a pleasure to be on the same team as you, my brother.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry that I couldn't make better swings and hit better balls. I think that my forte is defense. It is definitely not offense in softball. You know what?
Dude, I feel the same way, Lex. I caught my favorite thing was catching 2 fly balls, and it brought me back to my 12-year-old self,
right,
where I was afraid of getting hit by the ball as a kid, but I could catch every damn fly ball that came to my way. And my dad used to hit tennis balls in the air when I was a kid, and I'd run and catch them. And it was really cool to actually. It's kind of like riding a bike. I haven't played baseball, dude, in forever. So when I struck out Johnny Fairplay,
you did not strike me out.
Great.
You know what? Hey, Maddie, I'm gonna back you up on that. It was the most delicious moment of the game.
Oh my God, there was no strikeouts. I popped out twice, and otherwise I got on base, got an RBI, and got a run every single time. I was up for VIP. In certain circles.
No MVP for you. And there's 2 of us here that say that you got struck out.
Chicanery. I'm being blindsided here. Okay, it's Sherry Lewis LeBrant will also be joining me. So once again, this is Wednesday, September 25th in Clearwater, Florida at Muggs Sports Bar and Grill. This is a free event, everybody. It is free to come. However, you don't get in till 7:30 if you come for the free event. But if you want to go VIP, you can come at 6 p.m. There's a 1.5 hour meet and greet. You get autograph pics from all the castaways, including the surprise castaways that I can't talk about. And I haven't even mentioned them all. We tell the stories that we can't tell on the podcast. Even on the Patreon, we go that much deeper. And then you get preferred seating, premier seating. You are the first to pick your seat. You get to pick the screen you want. You watch the show, and then after the live Survivor premiere for Island of the Idols, then we have the live podcast followed by a Q&A. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I've never had this many survivors at one viewing party ever. Kat, Hot Cop Dan, Mama C, Morgan, Jessica Pete, many more that I can't talk about, like Jesse Camacho, Troy Zan, and others. Get your tickets now at survivorafterhours.com. That is survivorafterhours.com. You do not want to miss this event. I hear people saying I'm an hour away, I'm 2 hours away. Make that drive. I am flying from North Carolina to be in Florida to join you next Wednesday night for the premiere. Please go to survivorafterhours.com. And without any further ado, let's talk the cast.
Yeah, and before we even do that, Gannon, you're right. You should be there for Jesse Camacho alone. I guarantee you will not be disappointed, my friend. But let's get on with it. Season 39, Purple Tribe. Let's get in it.
Yeah, so last week we did the Lyro tribe. There was a lot of interesting people, and I am stoked for that tribe. So we're gonna see if this next
Is it
tribe,
Lyro or Lero?
it's Lyro. If
It's-
you look at the word Cairo, like
Yeah.
Egypt,
Yeah.
it's like
Lyro.
Cairo with an L.
But you know,
It's-
Probst, it all boils down to what does Probst say it is? He may say it's Lero.
That's
Who
true.
knows?
That's
It
true.
all ends up with Probst. So
So I
whoa. We started last week with a mentor so the big twist this
yeah.
season
Yep,
is you go if you win a reward, or if you're chosen to go to reward, whatever, you go, and there's two mentors that will give you advice, and then they give you a little challenge, and if you get that, then you win some type of advantage. So I think the more information I hear, I feel like it's a little less about the actual advice and more so them just supervising a little challenge. And if you do the challenge, they give you a reward. That's what it's sounding more and more like, because I had my problems with those two being advice givers. Matt has had issues with them being the chosen advice givers. And Lord have mercy, did Jenna Lewis have a problem with those two being advice givers on last week's episode, talking about the Lyro tribe. Lex Vandenberg, we discussed Sandra Diaz Twine last week as one of these two mentors. And I thought, there's a guy that I think may know the other mentor more than anyone in the world, and really hasn't broken down his friendship, relationship, or current thoughts on this gentleman. If he has, it's been a long time, if ever. Lex Vandenberg, let's talk Boston Rob.
well, okay. I mean, we can talk Boston wrong, but Boston wrong. I said Boston wrong.
All right, we're done. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Go to survivorafterhours.com, get your tickets.
And we're done. No, fair play. If you brought me out here just to talk a lot of shit about
No, I did not.
Boston Rob, I mean, that's not what I'm here to do, because
Nope.
I mean, I will preface all of this by saying, because there are still so many people, which I don't have any idea why, but there are still people that are up on the Reddit or, anywhere else still talking about what happened back in, 2003, 2004 on All Stars. I don't know why they still care. But let me set the record straight. So I've seen Boston Rob plenty since. We're totally cordial with each other. And if I was to really break down the whole thing in an honest way, yeah, I mean, did it hurt? Of course it did, because I was out $1 million and I got. And was it hard? Absolutely. Did he do me dirty? Absolutely. But
hold on, real quick interjection. How tight was your friendship going into All Stars?
Well, I mean, it was extremely tight. So, I mean, if we have to go into review,
Yeah.
We had met and hung out at so many charity events to where we'd gotten close enough to where when he was having problems with a girl that he was going out with back then or something, I was the guy that got the call late at night. He'd ask me for advice or whatnot, which, I'm all in. When you're my friend,
You've gotten that call from me.
yeah. If you want me to, talk you off the ledge or just be, an ear to listen to you, I'm always there. And so our friendship was kind of on that level. It wasn't just, hey, we were two guys that played Survivor together. We were actually friends, which is why it was really hard to play that game against all of these people that were close to us. And people out there have to understand that, now a lot of you guys that are probably watching now, you're more new school fans. And so you've gotten pretty used to having alumni coming back, whether it's fan versus faves or heroes versus villains or whatnot. But when we played All Stars, it was unprecedented. There had never been a season where returning players played the game again. And so none of us were prepared for what it would be like to play such a ruthless game where only one person can win, where it's cutthroat, where you have to stab people in the back for $1 million, but you're playing against people that you actually have history with and people that you love and people that you've had pretty, deep relationships with. We weren't prepared. And here's where I'm going to tip my hat to Rob, because for me, that experience was extraordinarily difficult, because when I'm your friend and we've made a connection outside the context of Survivor. That comes first, right? And that was my biggest mistake, is that I put friendship and real life over game. Whereas Rob, to his credit, was able to immediately say, all of that is now in the past, and I'll do anything. And there are no rules in this game. Obviously, I can't, cut or punch or, kill somebody that I'm playing against. But
You
other
can
than
choke
that,
them, apparently.
well, maybe in a challenge, but there are really no rules. And so he played a better game than me because he went with all the tools in his box, whereas I wasn't willing to pull some of those tools out. And you know what? He got me, and he got me fair and square in the context of the game. So I'll just put it out there right now. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. He won fair and square, and he was the better player on All Stars. That's just the way it is. Now let's talk.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, dude, is this: like thinking like I was not in your shoes or Boston Rob's shoes, but I've gotten to be really close friends with Johnny Fairplay and you and Big Tom and Donathan and just other certain people that I've met a lot of survivors, but I've hit it off in a more than just acquaintance ways with some of you guys, right? Like you're my friends.
Well, Matt, we get tight really fast because we've been through just an extraordinarily difficult and bizarre experience that only a couple, 400 people in the world, or 400 or 500 people if you count other countries, but in America, only a few hundred people have ever done it. And so, we when we get together, we can actually compare notes and stories and actually relate to each other in a way that we can't to our closest friends that have not played the game, right? So that is a situation where when we get together and we meet each other, and when we occasionally find people at these charity events that we click with. So like, for example, this last weekend, I met Carl, the Godfather, and that guy's my brother now. We were only together 3 days, but I love that guy. And I feel closer to him in some ways than friends that I've had for years that I met the old fashioned way. But it's because we had this strange experience. We've all experienced the same sort of PTSD from going out there and doing this thing, but we get close so fast. The glue sets so quickly, and we go so deep so quickly. It's not normal. It's kind of bizarre. And that was sort of the thing that happened with Rob and I back in the old days, which is what made our relationship so tight.
But
right?
what I'm saying is if which I won't be, but if I get thrown on Survivor right now with Johnny Fairplay, Lex, Big Tom, and Godfather Carl, I am not fucking you guys over. It would be like, dude, we're in an alliance, and when we get to the final 5,
it's bones to bones.
Then at that point,
let's
guys,
sword fight.
Hey, listen, this is a game just like fucking I played with my son on Battleship last night. I will cut any one of you motherfuckers at Final 5, but I am not screwing you over early on in the fucking game.
Or tricking you.
Yeah.
Or tricking you or lying to you to get myself further in the game. Because as ridiculous as this sounds to the people listening to this shit, is friendships, lifelong relationships are worth more than a fucking $1 million. You can give me
totally.
You can say, Matt, I'll give you $20 million if you fuck some other girl and cheat on your wife and get her out of your life, and you can live the life of. I would say
I'll leave that money on the table, man. I'll leave that money on the table.
It's just
I'm not in.
Well, I know you're not in. Fair play. Matt and I both know that you're not in, but
but you get what I'm saying. But
yes,
it's 20 grand. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, but Matt, I totally hear what you're saying, and you and I are on 100% on the same page as far as all that's concerned. So, but it's just something. It's hard. I understand that it's hard for fans to understand, which is why one of the reasons I probably caught so much heat after All Stars, and I don't fault anyone for that. I don't think anyone could understand unless they lived the Survivor experience, and then you might understand why I did what I did. and essentially threw my game away because that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know,
real quick, what a lot of people don't understand, the game of Survivor prior to All Stars was 20 strangers, 16 strangers, 18 strangers playing a game for $1 million. If I go out, like, you form friendships when you go out there, but it's like, I don't know this motherfucker, and there's a strong chance I'll never see this motherfucker again. $1 million is $1 million.
And I don't know his wife, and I don't know his kids.
Yeah.
But I've met Matt, I've met your wife, your kids, Johnny, I've met I married you to your first wife. I've met your kids who I adore.
And Piper would pick you to win over me.
So with all that said, we've burned like 20 minutes on stuff that doesn't relate at all to season 39. I don't want to be the reason.
We're talking about Boston Rob. Rob is the advisor that we're talking. That's
I just don't want to be the reason that you guys went so far off track. But let's talk about Rob and this and this kind of mentor situation. So my take, my initial take, and Johnny, you'll attest to the fact that I think I sent you a text the moment that that they announced the whole new season at the finale last year or this year, whenever it was. I mean, I sent you a text. I was like, what the fuck, right? Yeah. Because I saw these statues. I thought it was absolutely, completely absurd. I hated everything about it. Now, I mean, I've had a chance to really kind of think on it. I'm not going to go back on what I thought initially because I still think it's a terrible move, but I totally understand where CBS and Survivor are coming from. It's probably, give the fans what they want. I think I can tell that it would probably be a pretty delicious thing for them to see. All that said, I think that as far as Sandra and Rob go, as far as their usefulness to the players out there as mentors or, super players that can give them extra great advice, I think that that's going to be absolutely useless. And I really don't think that a single player out there is going to glean anything that they didn't already know from it. Now, what it will provide is entertainment, and it's going to be great bait for people to tune in because they're going to get to see their two of their favorites. Their favorite players, these legends, on the show every single episode. I apologize to all of the players that were out there, the new players on season 39. I apologize to you guys that you have to share so much airtime with these two people who are going to be inconsequential to your game.
Maybe not.
And well, it's okay. Well, let's get to that in a minute. Yeah. But they are gonna take precious minutes, and you have to split 40 minutes between all of you guys for each hour-long episode. They're gonna take a lot of that time from you. So I apologize for that because I think that the real gold is gonna come from this cast, not from Rob and not from Sandra. We've seen them a million times, and I'll be honest, I love Sandra.
I do too.
I don't love Rob, but I don't hate him. Yeah. But I considered both of them to be pretty boring and one-note characters on the show. They did one thing, and that's what they did. Now, this cast on season 39, I'm super pumped about because it reminds me so much of our cast on season 3 in Africa. It's just a freak show of like people all over the map. The age demographic is everywhere. There's young, there's old, there's middle-aged.
It's a season 1 through 10 type cast.
Yes, and people. There's people that are in shape, out of shape. There's people that look like they could be on the cover of a magazine. There's people that look like they would never be on the cover of a magazine. And that's what you had with Africa. You had the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what really gets me pumped. And I want to see y'all on this show. I don't want to see Rob and Sandra. So I really think that, for me, this whole I think at the end of the season, the Rob and Sandra thing is going to be a bit of a yawn fest, and it's not going to be what really brings the game home and what people are super stoked to see. I think it's going to be this cast.
I agree. And when the fact that this is literally no actors, this is Well, there might be a couple, but
No,
this is the most diverse cast we've seen in many years.
You
which is
bet.
what like made me fall in love with Survivor is people from everyday walks of life playing this crazy social experiment, the greatest game ever created, in my opinion. That's what drew me in. And I don't care about seeing, if I want to see girls in thongs, I can just search hashtags on
Yeah,
Instagram.
or I'll watch The Bachelorette, or I'll watch,
This
there's
is
so many.
Survivor. And this season there are a lot of people that I'm excited to see play. So
Yes.
without further ado,
okay. Well, one
here we go,
last
fair
point
play.
with so this is not a spoiler. This is room. I wouldn't even classify it rumor and innuendo. This is pure speculation because Boston Rob and Sandra are on there to draw eyeballs. So they're going to be a part of this deal where the castaway comes, they give them advice, and then they do a little challenge, they win a reward. But there's forethought that maybe that's not the end of them, that somehow they become a part of the jury. Now we have no confirmation.
Which is unthinkable to me. If that happens, that's where I go from being like, okay, this was kind of a lame idea, to me saying, okay, that's just straight up horseshit, because these are people in the game of Survivor. You are judged by a jury of your peers. And to me, peers means people that you played the game against, not people that were just sitting on their own island and weren't actually in the thick of it. So I don't think they have any business making a decision or having any say about who gets the $1 million. I think that's horseshit.
Like say I'm out, say I'm one of these new contestants, and say I'm not a fan of Boston, Robin, and Sandra. Not personal, just I'm a viewer of the show. I've never played the game. I watched them. I didn't like them. Just my personal preference. And so I win this reward and I go, and they're like, hey, you want something? And I'm like, go fuck yourselves. I'm not like, is Johnny Fairplay somewhere? Is Lex somewhere? But give me a Rob C. I'll take a fucking Stephen Fishback at this point. I like you're not my favorite Survivor.
But frankly, I don't want anyone out there telling me how to play the game. So let me
just finish this. But say so I'm just like, I don't like you. Okay, so I tell them I don't like them because I'm allowed to not like them. And then we get to the jury and they go, and in a surprise twist, and I'm just like, well, you've just cost me $1 million because I don't like these two assholes. And they're not a part of the game, but you're giving them 2 votes to destroy any chance I have of winning.
Yes, but let me present you with this with this idea. I would say to you guys that what was always most compelling to me about watching Survivor was to see 16 or 18 or 20 people thrown in this outrageous situation and having to sort through it on their own with no previous experience. This is one of the reasons I don't like alumni seasons. I love to see people in a completely, their comfort zones are challenged to the nth degree with no help from the outside, like Suri, where they have to they have the benefit of their wits, their body, and just their grit to get them through something, in and out of problems. But when you say, we're bringing these mentors who are going to help you sort it out, I don't want to see somebody who's already done it tell someone what to do. I want to see these people try to do it on their own. That to me is what Survivor is. Yeah. So I don't care. Somebody earlier said, I'd like to see Rupert, or I'd like to see Cochran, or I'd like to see Fishbach. Those guys are all great at what they've done. But honestly, I don't want to see anyone on the show telling new players how to play their game or giving them advantages or doing anything. I want to see them do it on their own.
Yep. All right.
Right on. Well, here's the deal. As everyone knows, Matt Bischoff from Survivor Caramoan has to reel in Johnny Fairplay.
I'm reeled
at all times. We are getting to the first person of the Vokai tribe for this season 39, which airs next week. We are going to talk about Lauren Beck. Lauren Beck 28 years old. Her hometown is Bakersfield, California. Current residence is Glendale, California. She is a nanny. And it says, what's your accomplishment you're most proud of? She says, moving from Michigan to LA at 17 years old and creating a good life for herself. And because we all know, as it says, here, and my sister-in-law knows, moving to LA is not like living in fucking Danville, Virginia, or Cincinnati, Ohio. The shit's expensive, right?
Yep.
So she did that. And her hobbies: eating an entire bag of Cheetos in one sitting, watching true
Hot
crime shows,
Cheetos,
writing and
Matt. There's a
blogging.
huge difference.
And let me see. Okay, here we go. Survivor contestant you're most like. Troy Zan, because we're both hot. Well, Troy, shout out to Troy Zan. I love Troy Zan.
And he's
Troy
hot.
Zan fucking rules.
Troy Zan's my brother. I won't lie, Troy.
Too. I knew when I met him at Hearts of Reality, it was like instant connection. I love Troy Zan. So hats off to you, Lauren. And then she says, Sari.
Yes.
Shout out to Sari, another bucket list podcast guest we had on Survivor NSFW. Go back in the archives and check that one out. It says Sari because she's the best social player to date. And, basically, she says Sandra, the queen stays queen. So I feel she's going to be excited to see Sandra. This chick is.
Real quick, Matt.
Yeah.
She says Sandra because she has no problem being a cutthroat and to make power plays to enhance her game. I have a question for Lauren, who I love. Big fan of Lauren thus far. What power play did Sandra do on Pro Islands? Because I was there and I saw no such power play that you mentioned.
Yeah, no, I hear we've all had this conversation about Sandra countless times.
I saw power plays on Game Changers. I'll give credit there. I thought she was I thought she played a very aggressive and game that I liked. So, but I didn't see. I saw zero power plays on Pro Islands.
I mean, she looks like she's cool. The Troy Zan and the Sari references.
I like that.
That's cool in my book. Occupation nanny. I don't know how big of a fan she is.
I love the nanny. I love the nanny. I mean, I think that if you're a nanny, you've got to deal with both kids. You got to deal with their parents. You got to deal with all the things that a parent has to deal with a kid that ain't even your own. Yep. I really like her, and I'll say right now, I really like this tribe, and I am a huge fan of, for the most part, of the ladies on this tribe. And which to me is like so refreshing, because oftentimes we're presented with female casts that don't really, and I'm a feminist at heart, but a lot of them just don't really move me. And I think on this tribe we have some women that are going to do some really amazing things.
Well, dude, I tell you what, before Johnny goes into this, when we did last week's deal, the females, for me, domination. Here. I loved the chicks on that tribe, and with what you're saying, this tribe is exactly what you're saying, Lex. When I look at the actual tribe photo here, I printed it off, and the smile that Lauren has, she seems, you can just tell she is stoked and giddy to play this game of Survivor. So I'm stoked to see her play. So, Johnny Fairplay, what do you got?
She's probably the survivor I'm most excited to meet when this is all said and done. Wow. I love her. I think she's great. I don't know if she's going to win, but I think she has a lot of tools. And as you mentioned, that smile is infectious. I as Lex mentioned, I think the nanny thing is big. I mean, I've sat down and ate a whole bag of hot Cheetos and I might later this week. I'm going through a rough time, but Tareen says, what's one thing we wouldn't know by looking at a photo of you? She does the best Britney Spears impressions you've ever heard. I'm all in. She is at the top of my list of this tribe. So cool. As I said, I don't like. without being able to hear these people talk and all that, I don't know if this tribe is going to be more no nonsense and less fun. I can't base a lot of those X factors just on 3 paragraphs and 1 picture of each person. So, but if she fits in, I think she hangs around, and I think she fits in. So it's just, does she hang around to the very end of the game or about mid merge? But I don't think Lauren is short for the Survivor season.
Cool, right on. Well, I actually listened to the Lyro Tribe interviews with Wiggler on Rob C's podcast, and wow, what a fun group! And I tell you what, I listened to half of the Vokai tribe's audio interviews, and they have a more serious tone
That
than
right
the Lyro
there.
tribe. Okay,
Yep.
now I did not hear her, but when we get to the castaways I did hear, I will chime in and give you my opinion. Next on the list,
Or so Lex, where do you see her finishing?
I like Lauren a lot. I'm excited to see her play. I think that she is going to bring a ton of fun and color to the game. I hate to say where I see people going because I don't know. I mean, I've got a few favorites. She's not at the very tippy top of my list, but I see her going fairly deep. I can see her making merge for sure. The one thing I wanted to mention about this tribe, as I looked at the whole tribe rather than all of them individually, what really stood out for me and what I think might give this group an advantage over the tribe they're up against is I looked at all the dudes, I looked at all the girls, and to me, the thing that can often cost these people their game or honestly can also make for television that's not as fun to watch, for me at least, is I don't see in this tribe, I don't see bro culture in the dudes.
Yeah.
I look at all the dudes, I don't see bro culture there, right? Bros with abs getting down with bros. I also don't see catty cliques among the women. You know, you can kind of tell when girls are going to be kind of catty and click together. In this group, I see the potential for anybody creating alliances with anyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Survivor Africa dynamic.
Yes, men with women. It doesn't matter. Like it's an all play, and I see that there are so many possibilities of how all of these people could cluster together, but I don't see it being the obvious, okay, we're bros, or hey, we've got this catty cute girl alliance, and I love that.
Yep. I mean, like look back at Survivor Africa. You had Big Tom going, I got stuck with the Jew and the weirdo.
That's right.
And never, if you had asked Big Tom before the game started, who's 2 people you're not going to work with? Well, I'm not sure what a Jew is, but I think they have horns. I mean,
the first thing he said about me to anybody, you know, on the production staff when we couldn't talk to each other, he said, because Big Tom and I had tents next to each other where we were getting trained to survive in Africa. He said, "Why'd you put me next to the queer?"
There you go. And Ethan,
God bless him.
He had never met a Jewish person before, and he was just like, he goes, he don't eat ham. Well, fuck that. I mean, I think Ethan eats ham.
Oh, he eats bacon. I know he eats bacon.
Yeah. But you have, like, as I said, like sky's the limit. Alliances are uncountable.
All over the place.
Love it.
Anybody's game.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Moving on to our next castaway, Molly Byman. Looking pretty dope in her bikini here from Boston, 27 years old, current residence, Durham, North Carolina.
Matt, did you just say Durham, North Carolina, as in November 6th? You can join me and Brett LaBelle doing a Survivor Live viewing party. Tickets available at survivortix.com. That's right. Go to survivortix.com for that. But don't forget the premiere, survivorafterhours.com.
Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if Molly shows up to your event. Even though she's not, but here's the go. She's a law student. Her accomplishment she's most proud of: teaching middle school for 5 years and 400 impressive students. Blah blah blah. She likes to run, ski, bike, hike, read, do positions out of the Kama Sutra.
Oh,
Hey.
was that on the that was on the
No.
other page?
No, that's on Matt's pod. I'm just fucking with you guys.
I read her bio. I know you're full of shit.
And then the survivor contestant you're most like poverty. She was charming, manipulative, and blah blah blah. She also likes Wendell to remain, emotionally neutral and find humor in stressful, irritating. Again, to me, both the tribe photo and her individual photo, the smile tells a lot, and she seems like she's going to be super fun. And I'm excited to see her play. I mean, she's a law student, but I think that she's going to be a social butterfly. I think her social game is going to be good. And I think that she's going to, do well in the challenges and be a flirt to some of these dudes that are on her tribe. So I think she's definitely going to make it to the merge and do some damage in this game.
Matt, I'm going to make a bold statement right now.
Yeah.
Molly's my favorite
Wow.
out of the whole cast, and she's the horse I'm picking to win everything.
Wow.
I really like her. I think she's gonna have just enough game, just enough social, and be just invisible enough to possibly take her all the way. And I have to say, there was something, she and I shared something unusual on our bios. I had the exact same thing on my bio back in 2001 on Survivor Africa. They had a category, what's your favorite TV show? I put down Freaks and Geeks. She put down Freaks and Geeks. She talked about that in her bio. It's right in there. And as soon as I read that, I said, you're my favorite. And so, Molly, I'm counting on you, girlfriend.
Now, let me ask you guys this as I'm looking at her. She looks like a hotter version of Colleen from Survivor from back in the day. Not that, like, I had a crush when Colleen was, like, back in the day, but she reminds me kind of like a Colleen with long hair. But I think that Molly is going to kill it. And
I think Molly's going to be more interesting than Colleen was.
I do too. I think this chick's,
totally honest.
I think this chick's personality, like I said, it's all in the smile, and I think she's going to be a fun player to watch. Fair play.
She's my pick to win. Fair play. What do you think?
Well, she says one of her pet peeves is the assumption that men and women can't be platonic friends. And I often find sexual tension in all of my friendships. So I don't know.
Johnny, you're an idiot. I love you, but you're an idiot.
I find sometimes us three looking at each other longingly. I don't know. I like her. I like her a lot. She reminds me of Allison from also living in Durham, North Carolina, from David versus Goliath. Allison made it far. I see a lot of strong qualities in her that I saw in Allison, and I liked Allison as an early favorite on her season. I like Molly making it far on this season. I would also like a tarot card reading on November 6th at the Dirty Bull Brewing Company in Durham, North Carolina. Tickets available at Survivor.
Are you advertising again?
Oh yeah,
Johnny, enough.
Okay, I didn't know if I had mentioned it.
Or I'm gonna pull a Jenna, and I'm gonna.
Don't do it,
check
Jenna.
this out. Here's a funny thing, Survivor NSFW fans. As you know, Johnny always makes fun of Ben. For mentioning I've been in the nation's military. Johnny is relentless about that. But Johnny is also the same guy who plugs shit every other word on this podcast. So
not every other.
Typically. So it's funny. I love it.
I would venture to guess that for every mention of the military that we got from Ben, there have been at least four plugs from Fair Play.
No, it's one for one.
That ain't something to be proud of, my friend.
I'm not at all, Lex.
So we're moving on to Janet Carbon, age 59. She's the second oldest member of the cast. She's from New Jersey, but living in Florida. She is a lifeguard. Her bio that I'm looking at here is kind of real minimalistic. But I have researched this chick a little bit more. I've listened to her interview, audio interview. She is married. She's a grandmother. She talks about how being a lifeguard is this kind of like we talk about Survivor being a brotherhood and the Survivor family. She mentions how she's a lifeguard, and over the years, you are a lifeguard to these kids, and you have these lifelong relationships as these kids grow up that you were a lifeguard to. Um, she doesn't want to come into the game as a leader, and she hopes there's a lot of water challenges. Obviously, she claims to be a super fan of the show, and she came close to being on Survivor last year, so she's really excited to be on the show. However, she says, I'm not trying to come across as a leader. I kind of envision this chick to come into the game and rub people the wrong way. Let's say there's a swimming challenge. They're in Fiji. They're going to have swimming challenges. She's a lifeguard. Immediately, she's not going to be able to hold her tongue, in my opinion, and she's going to come across bossy. I think. I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
I think that when you say that you don't want to come across as a leader, it's a pretty fair bet that what you're saying is you're probably going to, and I can say that from experience. I know that to be an issue with me is that I like to be in the driver's seat. Now, I will say Janet, along with Molly, she's probably just a hair below Molly as far as one of my favorites. I think that Janet is going to be really fun to watch. Mm-hmm. I think that Janet could either be off really early or go really deep, depending on what she says and does in the first 3 to 5 days of the whole game, because that's where you kind of cement your own fate. I mean, if you're going to be an early boot, we're all going to know about it really early on, and that's all about rubbing people the wrong way. But I think if she can temper her own wisdom that she's gathered over the years, her expertise in the water, and she can just listen as much as talk and boss or whatnot, she could go extremely deep. I loved the fact that she was brief on her bio. To me, you read all these bios and I get kind of tired of hearing people that seem to be so cocksure and confident and talk about themselves so much. And she was like, you know what? I don't have much to say. Here are the facts. To me, that was it reminded me of kind of a Rudy approach to filling out. It's what I imagine Rudy would do when he filled out his bio. So I think that she's simple, she's old school, and I cannot wait to see her play the game. And I think that she might go real deep as well if she can just rein herself in the beginning.
Right on. Fair play.
First boot, less likable Reem.
Wow. Wow. All right, fair play. Well, you and I are we're gonna talk at the end of episode 1. That night we'll probably be on the phone, and I'll either
where will I be, Lex?
Well, I'm sure. Well, I know where you're gonna be because I've heard it about 600 times. Well, okay. Well, maybe I'll wait till the next day.
We'll talk the next day
to tell you that
that was right.
To make you eat a little bit of humble pie and eat some crow, because I think she's gonna go deep. I hope. Come on. Don't disappoint me, Janet. Go deep in the game just to make fair play wrong.
How about this? If Janet's first boot, will you eat her one-piece bathing suit?
What, like on the podcast?
We'll figure out a place.
Okay, here's a question. Can I accompany it with A1 steak sauce? Because that'll probably make a big difference. It'll make it go down pretty smooth.
Yeah. Whatever you need. I love
A1 steak sauce.
Yeah, I want that next Rudy. I'm hoping that we have the next Rudy on the other cast. This is a older cast than we've had in years. However, I just think she's odd man / odd woman out. That's why
I want to see her go deep, because I just love the oddball, the underdog.
Yeah.
That's my
if this tribe ends up being the really serious tribe, she does fall into the leadership role and goes far, but but are the guys going to allow her? Who knows? As I said, based on a picture and with her, not even paragraph.
What are we going off of here?
Yeah.
We're not.
I've listened to her speak.
Yeah.
Like.
What do you think about that, Matt? I want to know what.
I think that someone put a comment up here a minute ago saying if her tribe wins a bunch, she goes far. If they suck, early boot. And when I look at the cast photo, I could agree with that. Looking at the men and some of the chicks, I would think they might be like, eh. But however, if she kills it, she claims to be this excellent swimmer. And
she's a lifeguard, and she doesn't have to claim it. She is.
She might not be at 59. I mean, there's women that have been.
Time out. I'm 56, and I resent that comment.
That's great, but okay.
I still surf, so
okay, that's great, Lex. But I go to the pool I have a pool membership. There's 59-year-old women there that have been swimming their entire lives. Let me race against them for $100. I'm gonna smoke them.
Nope.
All right, you know what? I'll smoke you. I'm 56. I'll fucking
you
smoke you in the
will,
pool.
Lex. But I'm just saying, just because she's a lifeguard doesn't mean that she can still kill it smoking or
dude,
swimming.
I'm looking at this cat.
My money's on Janet.
I completely disagree because when I fucking went to the YMCA to fucking practice swimming before I went out on Survivor, and I'm like, I'm on my mom's guest membership, and I'm in the pool, and I'm like fucking huffing and puffing after a lap and a half, and there's like these 90-year-old motherfucking guys swimming like 200 laps while I'm there.
Yeah.
So Janet is going to fucking kill it in the water.
Maybe.
Hands
I don't
down.
know.
Okay, here's the thing. Fair play. If she hangs herself, it's her social game. It will not be in the water. If she's in there in a competition, if they let her swim enough in competitions, I think that she will show herself to be formidable.
Okay. But I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think her swimming is gonna be make or break. I mean, like Big Wendy was probably the fastest swimmer of anyone on the last season, and that didn't make any difference.
Well, anyways, we're excited to see Janet. We're gonna see how. I can't wait to go back and.
I can't wait to see her.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Kelly Kim, age 29. From Newport Beach, California, currently in Philly, an MBA student. And the most accomplishment she's most proud of is getting onto the Harvard varsity soccer team. Hobbies, Settlers of Satan or Caton, whatever that is.
Lex, you know what that is, right?
Hey, longtime member.
Okay, there.
You guys are fucking nerds. So, the Settlers of Satan.
No, Catan. It's a board game. Do you play any board games and I wouldn't consider Battleship a board game, Matt. Do you play board?
I've played board games, but I also have better shit to do in my life than sit there and play Settlers of Satan. But anyway, she hates mayonnaise. And she doesn't like whipped cream, vanilla frosting, or sour cream.
I bet you would love it. I bet if you played, you would be like, this is cool as shit.
I have a big problem with the fact that she hates mayonnaise. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
I am very pro. That's a white thing, though, right?
I love mayonnaise.
Don't they say that white people love mayonnaise? Isn't that like
a
thing?
Johnny love mayonnaise. This chick, she said she's most like Kelly Wentworth because she's athletic and gets along with people, and we almost have the same name. I think she's gonna be. I don't think she's gonna have a huge impact in the game. I think she's gonna just kind of go along with what's going on. She seems like she's smart, but she likes to ski and play soccer and do the Satan thing. But I don't know.
Catan. It's Catan, Matt.
No, but Matt, if you're getting just, I mean, I didn't get a lot out of her bio, and that's all I had to go from. But I did not. I saw somebody. For me, my impression, as with as little information as I had to go on, was I didn't feel that Kelly would go super deep in the game. I don't feel that she will, like you, will have much of an impact on the game. I'd love for her to prove me wrong, but I think she might be an earlier boot.
Cool, fair play.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum as both. I think she's this season's Lauren.
Okay.
So I think she's a college athlete. She's gonna be strong. She's super cute. I think she could. I mean her hero is Kelly Wentworth, same as Laura. I think there's a lot of similarities there, and we saw that archetype make it far just as recent as last season. I think that trend continues.
Hell, that's why I love this podcast.
Yeah,
because we all have these crazy. So we're gonna.
And that tells you right there that they've cast this right, because everybody picks different people to hate or love or go far or not go far, and that's when you've got a good cast. When it's not just everybody on one side, everybody, and this is a good cast. That proves it right here.
Seven actors versus 7 actors and 3 people that are there. So I mean, much better. Love this cast.
Yep.
I do too. So moving on to a male contestant, Jason Linden, 32, from New York, currently living in New York. He's a personal injury lawyer. He's most proud of starting his own firm. He loves his wife and the life they're building together. He loves sports, music, and learning new things. The thing that Johnny is going to not like here is this. Contestant you most like. Fishback, Adam Klein, Cochran 2.0, Rob Cesternino. A little weird. Little Tony Vlachos, buckle up, baby. It's going to be a wild ride. So here's the deal. I listened to this motherfucker talk on an interview. First of all, he's got a good beard going into the game. So if you got a beard, I'm a fan. So this dude, his level of Survivor fandom is this. He said he watched the first few seasons of Survivor, and then he dropped off, and then he came back during Blood versus Water. So there was a period of time where he didn't watch. He started applying for Survivor in 2015. He says he can get snappy at people. He likes to talk a lot, and he only wants to vote out the weak players. Okay, so here's the deal. Getting snappy at people, not a good fucking thing on Survivor. Likes to talk a lot, sometimes not a good thing on Survivor, because this motherfucker, if he's snappy and he's talking constantly, he's going to annoy people. Okay. And only wanting to vote out weak players. I get it. You want to be strong in the challenges, yada, yada, yada. However, in 2019, that's not always what the game of Survivor is about.
Well, it never was. Nope. Not even back in 2001. It was never the game.
What in 2003 either.
It's knowing when to get rid of the weak players and when to get rid of the strong players. There's a time and a place for all of that stuff. As far as his statement about being snappy, I mean, let's be honest. All of us, when we're starving to death, we're sleep deprived, we're trying to shank everyone for $1 million. We all get snappy. That's just. I kind of enjoyed seeing him say that, because to me, this was somebody that wasn't afraid to share something on his biography that might be kind of honest, rather than just talking about how I'm gonna be the most strategic, I'm gonna be the most social, and I'm gonna win everything. Mm-hmm. There was an honesty there that I kind of liked. So I think that might bode well for him. He's got some self-awareness. If he knows that he's gonna be snappy and talk back to people, maybe he'll be a little more careful about not doing it when he wants to do it. Now, the voting off the weak players, that's stupid.
But and like I said, so little side note, we are going, besides me that listened to some interviews, we have very little to go by. And when you're in the situation of they're asking you to make these bios up, you're like, oh my God, I'm playing Survivor. And you give I've gave some stupid answers. So honestly, when I look at the cast photo as a whole and I see Jason's face amongst the cast members, especially of the dudes, he seems like he's going to be a pretty cool guy.
I like him.
Fair play. What you got?
I think I have enough to go by, and I don't like him at all. I think he fucking sucks. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Fish, but I hate every fucking Fish fan on the planet. I can tell you that right now. He talks about relationships like a fucking robot, and I feel like if you took the worst parts of Fishback, Adam Klein, Cochran, and fucking he's season 1 fucking Cochran, by the way, put all those fucking together, this motherfucker sucks. He's a shit sandwich of those fucking players. So Yeah, whatever. Jason fucking Linden, go fuck yourself. How about that? Do I have enough information to base that on? Am I being too snappy?
I love it. This is
I love it too. I love it.
This is what we saw Johnny Fairplay last season when War Dog.
Oh no, we are not going. I assure you, me and this motherfucker. I just don't like him. I mean, like War Dog. I had like War Dog had reasons. I don't even have. I just don't like this motherfucker. Go fuck yourself. I mean, just go the fuck away.
Nothing more to say.
There you
go. Next guy we got. This guy is his name is Jack Nichting. He looks like your typical Joey Amazing clone. He's 23 from Newport
No,
News,
not Joey.
Virginia.
You're being way too
Well, I'm
complimentary.
talking about with the fucking curly hair.
He looks like fucking. He looks like Fat Malcolm. Go speak the truth.
And so this guy's a young dude. Most accomplishment is winning the national championship for club soccer. He likes CrossFit, listening and singing musicals, all you can eat sushi. I like that too. Exploring the world. And he wants to be like Devin because he loves life and blah, 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 smiling. So I listened to this dude's interview. Okay. And here's my take on this guy. He has been, he's a young guy and he's kind of working on his master's degree. He's taking a break from school right now because he's not sure, like, life isn't all about going to school and getting your degree. I want to kind of live my life. He's been dating a chick for 7 years. He was a big Survivor fan when he was younger, took a break. He was almost on season 38. And he says he's stoked about being hungry and miserable, which I think is fucking bullshit and a stupid.
Well, I'm sure he currently is.
Well, he doesn't know. He has no clue what it's like.
No, I think this motherfucker has no job and has no money to go back to school. And so, yeah, he's fucking hungry right now.
He's just like, yo, bro, it's a game. I'm not going to be pissed if I get voted out. Like, people shouldn't be pissed if they get voted. It's a game. And, his dad died when he was younger. So he's trying to just kind of live out this adventure. He just seems like your typical bro dude. And the stakes, if I'm playing Survivor, dude, I am a super fan. I'm there to win the $1 million and I'm there to play. I think this dude's going to be another like, hey, I'm here for the adventure. He's going to like try to find, he's probably going to go with Molly Byman because that's the only young chick on his tribe. And he's probably gonna be really pissed there's not a bunch of hot young chicks because this is the typical guy that would get on the island and be like, hey, I don't care about making fire. Let's go explore the island. I want to go see what's going on and climb coconut trees in this shit. So I don't think this dude has a snowball's chance in hell to win the game. And while you motherfuckers are talking, I'm going to go piss because I'm 2 PBRs in and we're halfway through the damn cast. So Lex, I'm going to give it off to you.
Okay. I think that this guy, he'll make it to the middle, unless he might make it to the middle unless he finds a really solid alliance to carry him. I don't see him making it really much farther than that. Personally, he doesn't seem hungry enough to me.
I might hate this guy more than Jason. I call him No Chance Jack. I love that he's a Virginia guy. That's about the only thing I like. Musicals fucking suck. For the record, Matt Bischoff, you're not here to defend yourself. All you can eat sushi fucking sucks. That's the worst fucking sushi you will ever fuck. That's some fucking.
No, there's one worse kind of sushi, the kind that comes pre-wrapped and it's in the refrigerated section of your supermarket.
But I mean, like, that's diarrhea. It's all diarrhea sushi, like that. Yes. Like, yeah. Yes. So yes. No, that's dog shit, man. And this guy screams fucking recruit. So, like, who's your favorite survivor? Devin Pinto, because I only watched back 3 seasons because I don't really watch Survivor. They told me to watch. It's like, motherfuckers in casting. Why wouldn't you have him watch Fabio? I mean, have him watch a motherfucker that won. Not the dumb motherfucker that's I really felt I practiced enough, so I took a nap before that final fire making challenge. So I hated Devin. I think I hate this guy even more. And I think I hate him more than fucking Jason. Like Jason, I take it back. I don't hate you the most.
And I think that we may be looking here at the possibility of a first boot on this tribe as well.
Could be, yeah. Especially if this is a more serious tribe, this guy's gonna be like, "Hey, is it really about?" It's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, it's called getting firewood."
He's got the whiff of the guy that won't really put the work in to build the shelter, and he's going to be talking about everybody kumbayaing, and next thing you know.
And his whole goal was to meet that hot young girl and hook up, and this ain't the season for that. So
this is not the season for that at all.
Oh, he's not a recruit according to RD. Okay, well that's great. I don't like him. Matt, what you missed is I like him less than Jason.
Oh well, hey, right on.
There you go.
Well, moving on, we got Nora Solomon.
Oh, and all you can eat sushi sucks, Matt. It's low quality. You don't want that shit.
Well,
unless you put it on your Blackstone griddle.
Yeah, grill that.
Here's the deal, though. When I was in Malaysia, okay, I get voted off Survivor, go to Ponderosa, and then they send all the pre-jury motherfuckers on a trip. We went to Malaysia, and we went to some pretty dope fucking all you can eat with the little fucking conveyor belt shit.
Yeah. That's over there.
Not in the United States, but I have had some good stuff. So here we go. Age 36, Nora Solomon. She's from Maryland. She's an entrepreneur. However you say. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. I've ruined my life trying to be entrepreneurish with Johnny Fairplay. However, I am an entrepreneur. I'm just fucking kidding. The most accomplishment, she's loves experiencing the world, living in many places, trying many jobs, careers, and businesses, exploring different people and relationships. She sounds like she's a clusterfuck, really. Go skipping from this to this.
Tell me how you really feel, Matt.
She likes to work out, eat healthy, which you can tell. I mean,
her body is
a fit body.
It might be.
I like a little more curves. She looks like a Sarah Lacina kind of body. I mean, she's a fucking fit chick.
Is she the one that said she's like straight edge, never smoked, never did drugs, never drank?
Yep.
All right. I see her. She's top of my list as first boot.
Yeah.
Partially because of that. I feel like, when you mention in your bio something that kind of separates and divides you from like 95% of the rest of the world,
you've limited your life.
Well, and you've also kind of shown probably what your social game is going to include, which is a mention of the fact that either your ability to get along with these people that clearly have all drunk and drugged and all that other stuff, or that you just don't have these commonalities. I see in Nora the great possibility of a first boot or an early boot. I don't see it with Nora.
Well, I mean, you got to, when I'm looking at this tribe, like the whole cast photo, if you got the one dude that's like, hey, we're trying to get the tribe strong, he's going to vote out, he's probably going to vote out Lauren Beck and fucking Jeanette before Nora.
Janet,
yeah, sorry.
You would vote out a strong swimmer before you would vote out Nora?
I'm just saying, looking at
Fiji?
Well, you never know what the challenges are going to be, but
you kind of do.
She likes Malcolm. She says Malcolm's physically strong.
Used to be. Has she not seen Fat Malcolm on Instagram? Does she not follow CBS's Instagram?
So she mentions Fabio, dude. So the thing is, this chick is straight edge, never done drugs. Go back and listen to the Fabio interview Johnny Fairplay did. That motherfucker's obviously done quite a few drugs. So
okay, so I rest my case.
But
what is she? She doesn't know nothing about Fabio.
No. But we'll see. I don't know what to think. I'd like to see her around, see how she does, Johnny.
I got nothing. I'm not super feeling her. Like I just I tell everybody to be the best you can be. So, but I also, with that say, like try things. And other than, going job to job, I don't see her trying. I don't know. I don't think I would jive up with her out there. And so when I'm doing these assessments and thinking about how someone would do, I kind of think about how someone would do if I were to be able to work with them or not. And I don't see her and I being BFFs. So I think I don't think she's first boot, but I don't think she makes the merge.
She's no, I could agree with that.
Yeah,
I could agree with that.
So, but for the record, she has one of the best bodies on this cast by a lot. I mean,
Well, that's not really saying
what
much.
the fuck does that have to do with anything,
No,
really?
It ain't getting you to the merge. I mean, apparently.
But the thing, like that's the reason, like I've said before,
we base
I
this
don't
on
care
one
to
picture.
see super hot. Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't give a fuck what your body looks like. I'm ready to see normal Americans play this game. The next
and you know what? I mean, I made my very first alliance in Africa with Big Tom. I love his body, but he ain't a supermodel.
No.
He's got a beautiful body, but I mean,
right. Oh yeah. Fuck
but
yeah.
I mean, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
You're exactly right. Next up, Tommy Sheehan. It's a redhead with another fucking beard, age 26, from New York. This dude is a 4th grade teacher. He says, I have a really killer Disney coffee mug collection.
Hey.
I would have left that out of my bio. That sounds pretty fucking nerdy there, Tommy.
I kind of love that he put that in there. This is a cat that's not afraid and he's not looking to get laid.
No, and he's definitely not getting laid with his really killer Disney coffee mug collection. But
more power to him.
Maybe he sticks his dick in the coffee cups. He's like, hey, look at this. Hey, Goofy.
He loves surfing, a lot of sports. He has the biggest heart. He would do anything for people, especially kids. And as far as his strategy, he mentions David Wright and Amanda Kimmel. So here's the deal. I like this guy. I like the fact that he says he has a big heart, because that's exactly who I am. This dude has a passion for kids. He's a teacher. So I think he's going to be a very likable dude. The thing that I worry about with Tommy is the fact of, if people realize how sensitive and likable this motherfucker is, people are going to want to get his ass out, because they're like, dude, if Tommy goes to the end of the game, he's going to win the game.
Unless they like him. Because if it's really hard, what a lot of people don't realize, that it's really hard if you have a heart yourself. It's really hard to write someone else's name down that you really like when it comes time to, when you get to tribal council. So if he has built some really meaningful friendships or connections with people because he is this guy that he says he is, which I think he is too. I think this guy might be one of my first friends if I was out there on the island. I would not want to write his name down, because I think, okay, this guy might be one of the only people on this island that might actually be loyal to me. And when we make a handshake agreement, he might not screw me over. So I think that he may be able, if he plays it right, he could turn that heart, that big heart, and that ability to connect to people, he could turn it into a real asset. So I love this guy.
I do too. I think this dude's going to go far, and I think that I'm going to be a big fan of this guy throughout the game. Johnny?
Fuck you, Tommy Sheehan. Let me
again.
Are
you kidding?
No, I think I love him.
Okay, all right. Finally.
No, I think he at least seems incredibly likable. And
he's a teacher.
Fuck, don't get me started on teachers right now.
Fair play. I know you've got history with teachers, but for my, in my mind, teachers,
he's the teacher you wish you had.
And teachers are the most noble of all the people.
Yeah. Well,
I think teachers do wondrous, beautiful, amazing, miraculous things. And I love teachers, period.
Yeah. I'm not pro teachers right now. I'm very
well. I know, but you've got there are reasons for that we don't have to go into here.
We're not
on the podcast.
I think if things jive up the way they possibly can, I see this guy being a first lieutenant to Dan and those two running the fucking show.
To
Could
Darren
be.
Philo.
Yeah, on this tribe, I feel like those two are possibly going to run the show.
I'm sorry, I'm reading RD's comment. And you know what, RD? I guarantee you that Johnny wants to put his dick in that mug collection. I guarantee you.
Tommy, hide your fucking Disney mugs, motherfucker. I'm coming for them. So, but yeah, I like Tommy.
I'm waiting for Tommy to smash one of the mugs with your dick in it. That would be entertaining.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. So but yeah,
we're all on the same page.
We're all Team Tommy.
We're Team Tommy.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Moving on to Jamal Shipman.
Real quick, Tommy looks like Phil from the Survivor Specialist. Like if Phil actually, if Phil went to a gym, that would be him.
RD says that. So next up is Jamal Shipman, age 33, from New Jersey, currently residing in Rhode Island. He's a college administrator. This bio, I honestly don't even want to talk much about it because it's too much, but he coaches basketball.
He's a wordy motherfucker.
Matt, it's 3 much.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
I most relate to Jeremy. I think he played a great game, and Wendell, blah, blah, blah. Now listen here, guys. I'm throwing my notes to the side. I'm going to my other notes. I listened to this guy. He was a finalist for season 35. He's been an off and on Survivor fan over the years. He was really pissed he didn't make the cast of 35. He's a basketball coach.
What season was 35?
I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Okay.
He says he's playing to win. Okay, which
who isn't?
We all are. And he says he likes the Dom Wendell strategy and gameplay.
Whoa. He's mad that he wasn't on Hustlers, Heroes. That season sucked, motherfucker. Did you not watch it?
Well, maybe he thinks
the worst.
Maybe he thinks he would have been better. But here's the deal: this guy seems very smart. He seems like a cool cat. Now, how he does, I don't know. But one of our listeners right now, JD, says Jamal is my winner pick.
Or RD.
Right. Yeah. Right on. So I think that I think he's going to be an athletic guy. He seems like a big guy. He seems like he'll be a likable guy, and he's smart. I think he might, is merge material. Lex, what do you think?
His bio was off-putting to me because there was just, God, there was just so much to it.
Right.
So
basically like a bio like Johnny Fairplay would write.
Probably. I have the picture with me and Barack Obama, so there is that.
I can't really say much either way. I didn't feel that great about him, but I don't really have anything to go on that would make me feel like he's going to be super early boot. His bio with all the words gave me fucking nothing to go on. So I got nothing. I got nothing on Jamal. I don't know.
Right on. Johnny Fairplay's got, if you're watching this on YouTube live right now or back, if you're listening to it and you want to go back and watch, you can see a picture of Johnny Fairplay and George W. Bush, I believe, in a picture.
And it's brought to you by Photoshop.
No, it's Barack Obama. He was here in Danville, Virginia. My daughter got a picture with him as well. You can see the Secret Service all around.
His daughter got his picture with him right before Fairplay photobombed and got right in front of her so that he could have a picture before they pulled him away.
I got my picture first, and then I said, "You want to take a picture of my baby?" He goes, "Where's that baby? Give me that baby. I want that baby." He was running for president, so yes, baby pics are very important. So no, I feel like me and Jamal are essentially the same person, and based on bio length alone and nothing else. He seems strong, seems nice. Once again, I want to see this tribe dynamic. He seems, I don't know how fun he is. This does seem like a more serious tribe of the two, and
definitely, I 100%.
I see him making the merge because of that. So, and what the dynamics are from there is, we'll see.
So
Yeah.
what you said there, so little Johnny would say, peek behind the curtain. I listened to every audio interview of the Lyra tribe. Fun, super fun, laid back. A lot of people I really liked, and then this whole tribe was more of the serious gameplay tone, which I get it. You're playing a game for $1 million fucking dollars, and you do. I mean, I took it fucking seriously. So this is a more serious deal. So Jamal, we'll see what he does. Hopefully he'll surprise us.
Yeah,
So
and I kind of feel like serious is a good attitude to have in the beginning of the game.
Yep.
Casual or more relaxed and like
lazy.
laid back. Yeah, but that's a better thing to bring towards the tail end or the second half of the game when things really start to just crunch your brain.
Sure.
But I think in the beginning, if you start serious, I think you're starting right. You should not start laid back or everyone's going to eat your fucking lunch.
Yep.
Right on. Moving on to the final cast member of the Vokai tribe. This guy is Dan Spilo, however you want to say it. He's 48 years old from New York, current residence Los Angeles. He's a talent manager. I listened to this guy's interview. This guy does not need the fucking money. Okay. No. This guy started off in this agency working for movie star famous ass people. Now he like owns the agency. So this dude is a wealthy ass dude, right?
He's a big deal.
But he's hard. He's like a Mike White type guy. This guy would rather win the Soul Survivor title versus the $1 million prize money. Okay?
I'll take the prize money.
He says he's a big softy. He says he mentions Cochran because he's freaking cool and weird. So Johnny Fairplay is going to hate this motherfucker. But let me just tell you this. This is this guy's Mount Everest, he said. This guy's accomplished a lot of shit in his life. This is the deal. He is playing Survivor. He was almost going to be on Ghost Island. Didn't happen. Then, 9 days before season 38, the worst season of all time, Edge of Extinction, he breaks his fucking foot. This dude thinks my dream is over for Survivor. Okay. But he gets on this season. He says winning to him is making the final three. Like, dude, after that, it's not in my control. I want to get to the final three. And he says he may be a little bit bossy. He wants to be playing the game with worthy players, meaning this. He would rather go up against a final three of people that are badass players than taking someone like Sandra and Lil to the end, knowing that you could beat them. The one takeaway that I got from his interview is his 13-year-old son. I have a 13-year-old son. His son is a fucking Survivor fan. So is my son. And he's like, dude, I got to get to the family visit because my son is eligible for the first time ever, the youngest family visit member ever, 13, would be eligible to come out to the island. As a dad and thinking about my son coming out to the island, if my wife or I would flip the fuck out. So I want to see Dan's son come out to the family visit. So Dan, as much as I hate that you like Cochran, I want to see you go far in the game. You're not going to win. I don't know if you're going to tell people that you're fucking this celebrity agent guy. I would advise not to because no one will ever hand you the money. But I want to see you play the game. That's all I got to say about Dan.
Well, I can tell you he's not going to win because his ultimate goal, as he put it, was for him the win would be getting the final three. Well, that's not called a win,
right?
And that to me is almost as big a crime as going on. Being on the show and on the first episode, you make that jinxing statement that the check is already signed to me, or the check's already in my name, or something along those lines. It's like, no, dude, you're out there to win, and that means number one, not number three.
Whoa, Lex, you explained to me that the best players in the history of the game finished third. That's what you told me.
Well, I did, but we all set out to get to number one. We didn't set out to get to number three.
I didn't play for three.
This guy has mentioned in his bio here that he's playing basically for number three, that would represent for him a win. Well, no, that doesn't represent a win. But I hope he sees his kid. I hope he gets that family visit. I think that he, if he can just temper his ego and his probably what's become his natural tendency to tell everybody what he does for a living and who he represents and how much money he makes and what he drives. If he can temper that, he could go really far. If he doesn't, then he's dog meat. But this guy clearly did not. Where he's different from Mike White is that this guy made it to where he made it by being a ruthless, blood-sucking, throat-cutting motherfucker. To be successful in the business he's in the place he lives, is to be, an absolute fucking predator. In the world of business and entertainment, that will work for him. But it could also completely screw him over, because it could be really off-putting. Like if a guy like him came to me in the early part of the game and started throwing all that swagginess at me, I'd want him gone first thing,
right?
But there are other people that would be kind of just bedazzled by his by his whole his rhetoric and would follow him to the very end. So he's a bit of a wild card, and I kind of love that he's in this, because I don't think there's anyone else on this cast that's anything like him. So he might be somebody that really kind of fucks all things up, sort of like a Tony or a Russell Hance or someone.
Or a Johnny Fairplay.
Or a fair play, yeah. He's got the potential to be that guy that just.
So a lot of people are commenting right now saying this guy's going to be hated big time. He's going to be a villain,
which we love to hate.
Right?
We love that.
Looking at him now in this cast, I could see him with his cocky attitude of like working with big time celebrities, like coming across as a dick. I can't wait to see how it plays out dynamically.
I think he's going to be great entertainment.
That's the beauty of Survivor.
And I kind of can't wait to see him. I hope he has his very first meeting with the mentors with Boston Rob, because I think shit could go sideways there.
He likes Boston Rob. That's what.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Never mind.
You take it all back.
Fuck that, I guess.
Yeah.
Fair play. Bring it home, baby.
I think he finishes third. I think what? This is I think he
self-fulfilling prophecy.
I think he is a Mike White, Johnny Fairplay type character. I think he tells them what he does. I think he's the entertainment. It's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but I was kept on that island for a reason. I was entertainment. I had moved to Los Angeles. I was Roddy Piper's personal assistant. I went to all the cool clubs. I saw celebrity. I told, it was just like, and this one night, like so and so happened. So I think this guy has those same stories. He's their television. They keep him around.
He's gonna have a lot of confessionals.
Yeah. So and I think he's gonna have story time around the fire as well. I think he finished his final three.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, man. You know what? We have a lot of positive comments. Like everyone is like loving you, Lex, and loving the three of us. And like Lex needs to come on the podcast more, or he needs to be the third guy on Survivor NSFW. So, guys,
Lex doesn't like us that much.
I want to thank all of you guys that joined us live, and I appreciate the comments. And Matt and Johnny, you guys, you're my brothers. I love you, and I love doing this. If you want me back at any time this season, I will come back anytime, because I always have a large time with you guys, and I've had a really excellent time tonight. But thank you guys.
And guys, I cannot wait. Next week is the premiere of Survivor season 39. Thank God, because now we don't have to fucking
one less plug
on the off season. So now we're going to be talking Survivor
Yeah.
every week.
Matt
And
says
Johnny-
I don't have to watch Big Brother now and talk about that.
Oh,
Does it?
God. Johnny talks me into the Bachelor. I am never watching that bullshit again. I fucking hate it. I'll talk about Survivor, and that's about it.
I'm good on Survivor too. So,
Right on.
and if you guys want to hear our reviews of both of the other tribe and who our winner pick is, go Patreon. We're gonna do a recap in which we kind of narrow it down and pick one that's going to be a Patreon exclusive that's going to drop this Friday. So go to patreon.com/survivor NSFW. Try it for 1 month. It is the best way to support the podcast. Get the new t-shirt available at johnnyfairplay.com. The Claw has spoken. It is a tribute to White Claw and the tribe has spoken.
Johnny has yet to ever make a t-shirt about me ever. And he's had about 300 t-shirts.
Do you want a leg shirt? I can do a leg shirt.
I would love that.
Okay, done. Okay, and please join me live in person next Wednesday night, September 25th at Mugs at ICOT. It's in Clearwater, Florida. Kat, Hot Cop Dan, Mama C, Morgan, Jessica Pete, Jesse Camacho, Johnny Fairplay, Memphis Garrett, and many others I can't even get to. Troy Zan, join me. Get tickets now. It's free. But go VIP, you get autograph picks. It works out to less than $5 an autograph pick from each person. You will not be able to get these picks with if you do not go VIP. But it is free to go to watch with us and enjoy the live podcast with us. But go to survivorafterhours.com. That is survivorafterhours.com. Get your tickets right now. And subscribe to us on YouTube.
Hell yes. Well, thank you. And we will see you next week right after the premiere of Survivor Season 39. Cheers, everybody.
Love y'all.
And